Hi guys, welcome back. Take 3. It is Monday morning here and I am feeling it. So I went to make breakfast and realized I didn't have everything I needed for the breakfast I was gonna make. Cool, very cool. So I've decided I'm just gonna make bacon and eggs. You're like, bacon and eggs? Why are you making a video about bacon and eggs? Well, I'm here to tell you that not everybody knows how to make bacon and eggs. I was one of them. It is something you can find in a textbook. I found them in, like, Julia Child has a recipe, and you can find recipes on the internet and directions. More like directions versus recipes. And while you think it might be an easy thing, it's easy, yes. But if you don't know how, it's not easy. So today we're going to be making bacon and eggs. And to tell you how my Monday morning is going, other than this intro right here, I went to sign a piece of paper for my daughter's school. I put an M for an N. So apparently I'm Micole now. And I tried to sign my maiden name. And when I went to date it, we're apparently in 2012. So stick with me to learn how to make bacon and eggs on this beautiful Monday morning. I do have my cast iron skillet preheated. Normally I don't do this, but I only run it at about medium to medium low. This bacon, I'm telling you, is the bomb diggity. We get it from one of the schools around here. Whoops. It's from their fundraiser. It's also where we get our sausage, and it is the bomb diggity. So some people say you want to start your bacon in a cold skillet. Some people say you want to start it in a hot skillet. I say start your bacon in a skillet. Because some days that's how my life goes. I get made fun of because I will make my dogs bacon as well. True story. I am that person. I have my stove sitting at about 4 right now, just shy of, maybe like 3.5, but mine doesn't do odd numbers nor does it do halves. It just has 2 and then 4, and there's a gap where you can figure out where 3 is. Anyway, that's about medium on mine. I do have a gas stove, so it makes it a little bit different. Because I have a gas stove and I have this I believe is a 13-inch cast iron skillet, my pieces out here will not cook like the pieces in the center. So generally what I tend to do is cook them all like this, and then I will come in and I will move the inside pieces to the outside and the outside pieces in, so that hopefully they get cooked about the same. Some people make their bacon in the oven, which is awesome. If I was making a large quantity, that's probably what I would do. But since I'm only making enough for my husband, the dogs, and me, yes, I said the dogs, I just do it on the stove. And that way, I'll drain off my bacon grease, but I will still have some bacon grease in to cook my eggs. And to tell you how that works at my house, my husband does this differently. He will cook the bacon in one pan and the eggs in another, and he'll move a little bit of bacon grease over into the skillet where he is making his eggs. My daughter won't eat his eggs. She said they're not mommy. And this is not the first time she's ever claimed that somebody's eggs are not the way mommy makes them. So apparently I've made her eggs enough that she only will eat mine. One set of instructions I saw said to use butter in place of the bacon. And when I did that, she actually complained that they were not the typical eggs that I make. When my bacon starts to look like this, I like to prep my eggs. So, get my eggs out. And not always do you know if your eggs are fresh, like if they've been sitting in your fridge for a while. These should be, but there's an easy way to tell if you have fresh eggs or not. It starts with a glass of water, and of course, the egg. Focus on the egg, not the butter. Okay, so I'm going to put my egg in the water. If my egg sinks, it's good. If my egg starts floating, and especially if it floats on top, bad. Because an egg has an air bubble in it. And as an egg ages, that air bubble grows bigger, larger. Now I've got the egg in there holding it up, but that is a true sign on if your egg is good or not, because if an egg floats, it's bad. If an egg sinks, it's good. We're going to use up mushrooms because I don't want them to go bad. We're going to have mushroom eggs. So there's a lot of controversy on how to do eggs. It's fun to read. Everybody has their own opinion. If you listen to the chefs on Food Network, you are not supposed to crack an egg on the side of a bowl because it pushes the eggshell into your egg, which could take any bacteria that's on the shell into your egg. But I can't see a difference of cracking it here and then taking my fingers to pull it apart. That eggshell's still going to touch that egg. So I'm not sure. I'm not saying they're wrong. I mean, not all of them, but most of them have gone to culinary school. So the people have been doing it that way for years. So I don't know. I wish I knew the answer. And if you're getting an egg like this, it should be clean. I don't know. My eggs are not coming from chickens because I don't have chickens right now. We had chickens a little over a year ago. I don't have chickens right now. And I am not a person who can crack an egg without getting their hands dirty or one-handed. I've never been able to do that, and I don't know why. Now, the next controversial thing on eggs is, do you salt before, during, or after cooking? Back to the bacon. It's less controversial. Okay, now we're to the point I need to turn my bacon. So I just use a fork. Some people have other ways of doing it. Sometimes your bacon gets a little more done than others. I just use a fork, get up under it, flip it. A good quality bacon, such as this, will actually hold its size and shape a lot better than cheap bacon. It shrunk up maybe a little bit, but not just massively. Like I said, I like to move my inside pieces out, my outside pieces in. You gotta watch because bacon does splatter and it burns. Back to the egg controversy. Do you salt and pepper your eggs? Not really so much pepper. Do you salt your eggs before, in the middle, or after you cook them? I've watched studies on this. And what's funny is they all have a different answer. I do mine before so that mainly I remember. The studies say that after is better because it makes them less tough and more flavorful. I don't know. So what I usually do is I will salt them, pepper them, and let them sit there like that. And then I will finish cooking my bacon, pull my bacon out, and then use the fork that I moved the bacon around with to scramble my eggs. That's what I do. Back to the bacon. Once you have flipped the bacon, it doesn't take any time at all for the bacon to go ahead and finish. My plates are clean, I promise. They're just scratched up and it looks bad. They've lost the finishing off of them. I don't know. They were cheap. Okay. Pull my bacon out of the pan. Drain it off. Then I have a bacon container that gets so nasty. Okay, let's get my eggs, or my bacon out of the way. Pull my bacon container over. Find my oven mitts. Because I'm using the cast iron skillet that I need my oven mitts. But it has a nice drain spout. I'm going to pour off most of that bacon. I'm going to leave a little. I want it on my pan. And then put the lid back on that guy. Move him back out of my way. Now's the time to turn down my skillet, and I pretty much turned it down to low because I'm using the mushrooms. I'm going to put them in now. I'm going to cook them for a little bit, a minute or two, because they will take more time to cook than my eggs will. Okay, for my eggs, I go in with my fork, puncture the yolk, and then just start scrambling them. You can add all kinds of things to your eggs. You could add spinach, you could add onions, you could add ham, you could add the bacon, you could add sausage, you could add bell peppers, you could add jalapeno peppers, you could add hash browns. The possibilities are endless. It is time for the egg dunk. But then you just come in here, and you want a good non-stick skillet. Cast irons usually that way. Mine sometimes will stick because I did cook the bacon in it, and so the bacon wants to hold it too. But it's not like totally stuck. I've had totally stuck eggs. That's really bad. I might turn my heat up just a little bit because you want to get a good cook on it. And now we're just scrambling our eggs. I mean, see, I've got a pretty good, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good non-stick coating on my cast iron skillet. Some days it's better, some days it's worse. Usually doesn't take any more than about 2 minutes. Sometimes it can be less. Depends on how many eggs you have, how hot your skillet is. I had a dream the other night that I was on a cooking show and we were cooking eggs. You had to cook them 3 ways. That's kind of stuck on. I can get it off easily when I go to wash the pan without soap. The stuff that's stuck on there, I can get it off when I wash it. Not a big deal, but our eggs are done. Bring my plate over. And plate them up. And then catch my husband as he walks by to go back to work and say, now, the fun part of my day, feeding the bacon to the dog. Come here. Come here, Zoe. What? Do you want it? Sit. 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 Don't eat my fingers.